Quick reality check before we start smashing crossbars. Fastest shot depends on how and where it's measured, off the boot versus mid-flight, which tech is used, and whether the number came from verified systems or a TV graphic. When it's official from modern tracking, I'll say so. When it's a legendary clip with a speed people still quote, I'll mark it as widely cited and keep the miles per hour in parentheses. Ronny Heberson, the urban legend rocket. Sporting CP versus Naval, November 26, 2006. A left foot free kick that keeps resurfacing because old broadcasts and compilations circulate a staggering figure, approximately 211 kilometers per hour, or approximately 131 miles per hour. That number isn't from today's connected ball sensors, it's a widely cited estimate that turned Ronny's left boot into folklore. He came through Corinthians, moved to Sporting at 20, then built a steady career in Europe, notably Hertha. Training-wise, he was a repetition guy, direct approach, laces through the valve, minimal spin, technique that maximizes raw speed even if the headline figure isn't lab grade. Stephen Reid, New Year's Eve, Nuke, Blackburn versus Wigan, December 31st, 2005. About 30 yards out, Reid steps onto a rising seam drive many outlets list at approximately 189 kilometers per hour or approximately 117.4 miles per hour. It's one of the Premier League's cult thunderbolts. Reid began as a powerful winger at Millwall, evolved into a box-to-box mid at Blackburn, and later moved into coaching. His power came from old-school volume, long-range striking after sessions, big hip turn, knee drive, and a rock-solid ankle through contact. Clean mechanics that make radar guns blush. David Hirst, the Guinness man, Arsenal versus Sheffield, Wednesday, September 16th, 1996. Crossbar rattler captured by stadium radar at 183 kilometers per hour, or approximately 114 miles per hour, and long referenced by Guinness. Hirst was a classic English number, 9, explosive and two-footed, whose peak was clipped by injuries. Technique notes from teammates, volleys and half volleys after training, knee over the ball to keep it down, striking near the valve for a truer flight. The number stands out because it was measured by the tech available on the day, not reconstructed later. Ronald Koeman, Dream Team missile, Wembley, 1992, European Cup final, extra time. Koeman, Cruyff's libero with a cannon, hammers the free kick that delivers Barcelona's first European crown. Lists often peg his top strikes at approximately 188 kilometers per hour or approximately 116.8 miles per hour, but the Wembley goal is remembered for the moment, not a certified speed. Background: Koeman was a defender with a forward shot, racking up one of the highest goal tallies ever by a defender thanks to ruthless set-piece practice and penalty duty. Training emphasis: repeatable technique and a dead-straight low-spin contact. Frank Lampard, the late-arriving howitzer. Chelsea's number 8 is famous for timing and volume. Fastest shot lists often cite a Lampard blast at approximately 177 kilometers per hour, or approximately 110 miles per hour from his mid-2000s peak. The secret was repetition, thousands of reps from the D, learning to generate force without backspin, and perfecting late runs so the ball sat up to be driven through rather than under. Coaches talk about his balance at the last step, chest forward, plant foot firm, head still, so power didn't lift the ball into row Z. David Beckham, technician with Thunder in reserve. Manchester United versus Chelsea, February 22nd, 1997. TV measured 157.6 kilometers per hour or approximately 97.9 miles per hour on a Beck's drive. People remember the whip and accuracy, but he could absolutely lever it, and it came from a famously obsessive routine. Stay after training, hit free kicks and long-range drives until the groundsman flicked the lights. Biomechanically, he married a longer approach step with a firm plant and laces through contact. The curve came from follow-through, not a loss of speed at impact. Tony Yeboah, the crossbar assassin, Leeds versus Wimbledon, September 23rd, 1995. Take, spin, detonate. You'll see lists attach approximately 154 kilometers per hour or approximately 95.7 miles per hour to that volley. Before Leeds, he'd already been a two-time Bundesliga top scorer, and his strikes had a signature: huge thigh torque, fast hip snap, and just enough forward chest lean to keep rockets dipping late. Training was finisher's work, countless first-time hits from different feeds, so when the ball popped, the technique was automatic. Ritchie Humphreys, opening day sledgehammer, Sheffield Wednesday versus Aston Villa, August 17, 1996. At 18, he connects with a spinning half volley that archives put at 154.3 kilometers per hour, or approximately 95.9 miles per hour. It's a cult classic because it's textbook mechanics, plant foot set, torso rotation timed to the bounce, locked ankle on contact. Humphreys later carved out a long EFL career and became PFA chair, but that strike is still his calling card. David Trezeguet, Old Trafford announcement, Manchester United versus Monaco, March 1998. A rising laser widely listed at approximately 154 km per hour, or approximately 96 miles per hour, that introduced Trezeguet to a global audience. The technique had been honed at Monaco. Minimal backlift, straight through the midline of the ball, and first-time contact off quick layoffs. That poacher's power translated to Juventus and the national team, where timing, not wind-up, did the damage. The connected ball era, official numbers on the biggest stage. Qatar 2022 introduced an IMU inside the match ball sampling hundreds of times per second. That gave us verified speeds for the Men's World Cup. Kylian Mbappé registered 123.34 kilometers per hour, or approximately 76.6 miles per hour, on his volley in the final versus Argentina, one of the tournament's top recorded speeds for scoring shots. Luis Chávez clocked 121.69 kilometers per hour, or approximately 75.6 miles per hour, on his group stage free kick versus Saudi Arabia, the standout set piece of the round. These official ball sensor numbers underline a truth. Even at the elite level, verified match speeds usually land around 113 to 125 kilometers per hour, or approximately 70 to 78 miles per hour, because they're captured at the precise moment of boot to ball, not extrapolated downfield. Chloe Kelly, Women's World Cup benchmark. At the 2023 Women's World Cup, Chloe Kelly's round of teen penalty for England was clocked at 110.79 kilometers per hour, or approximately 68.8 miles per hour. The fastest recorded in that tournament, and noted at the time as quicker than any Premier League measured shot in 2022/23. Context matters. Penalties allow a clean approach and firm plant. Kelly's post-ACL rehab also sharpened her approach mechanics. Longer last stride, hips through early, and a true laces strike, ideal for pure speed off the spot. Roberto Carlos, why the banana isn't a speed record. Tournoi de France 1997 versus France, the most studied free kick ever. Initial velocity estimates vary, commonly between approximately 100 and 137 kilometers per hour, or approximately 62 to 85 miles per hour. But the legend isn't the number, it's the spin. High side spin created a Magnus effect that bent the ball back inside the post after starting yards outside it. Carlos's training was relentless. Valve contact, heavy spin, and the same violent hip through you see on his straight drives. It's iconic because of the curve, not because it tops the speed list. Why the 90s produced so many "did you see that" missiles? Balls were evolving, lighter outer layers, smoother panels, and the Premier League's Mitre Ultimax was literally marketed as a faster ball. Combine that with less spin, which keeps the ball from climbing, firm plants on harder pitches, and the rise of radar TV overlays, and you got a perfect storm of big numbers. Modern verified figures can look lower because today's systems measure at the instant of impact under consistent definitions rather than mid-flight peaks. What training actually creates elite shot speed? Across eras, the recipe barely changes. A proximal to distal chain, hips, thigh, shank, foot, long last stride into a rigid plant, rapid hip rotation, a whip-fast knee extension, and a stiff ankle at impact. Striking near the valve reduces energy loss, minimizing backspin keeps the ball from ballooning. The players in this list, Beckham's obsessive reps, Lampard's D-zone patterns, Yeboah's torque, Mbappé's approach speed, express the same physics in different bodies. So, who actually hit the fastest ever? If you want verified match numbers, the connected ball era sets the standard. Mbappé at 123.34 kilometers per hour, or approximately 76.6 miles per hour, and Chávez at 121.69 kilometers per hour, or approximately 75.6 miles per hour. are elite official benchmarks, with Kelly's 110.79 km per hour, or approximately 68.8 miles per hour, leading the WWC. If you want the biggest number people still tell stories about, Ronny's approximately 211 km per hour, or approximately 131 miles per hour, will live forever in highlight reels. Just remember, it's a mythic figure from older broadcast estimates, not a sensor reading. Different balls, different tech, same lesson. The hardest hits come from clean mechanics, ruthless repetition, and a mind that stays calm while the hips go violent. Nail that chain, and one day your laces will make a net sound everyone remembers.